Hi, welcome back to another Vivid Generator video. In this video, I'll be talking about one of my favorite villains of all time, Ultron. Well, I'll be talking about him in the MCU, because in the comics he's basically flawless. In the MCU, he's quite flawed. This video will just be me talking about Ultron for like 5 minutes. So, is Ultron any good in the MCU? Yes and no. In many ways he is the same character, but in many other ways he is a different character. The comics variant is a cold, basically heartless villain, but he can feel emotions such as love. Yes, Ultron loves the Wasp. In the movies he has emotions, but whether or not that works in his benefit is yet to be decided. But what certainly does not work in his benefit is how nerfed he is, strength-wise. He can hardly stand against Captain America. So I think he should have been a little stronger, possibly have a different design, because I don't know if I like it, the one he has in the movie, or hate it. There was a Crimson Cowl reference in the movie, which is appreciated. I think his original body looked pretty cool. Now, of course, Ultron was sort of brought back for What If as Infinity Ultron, but that doesn't really count as Ultron, more so a multiversal variant of Ultron. I would prefer it if MCU actual Ultron came back, not like Quantum Encounter. Movie Ultron was heavily nerfed. While he is cool as a character, nowhere near as cool as he could have been. You see, he's sort of tragic and sad. You get that with lines such as, "They'll understand once they see, they'll understand." And Vision saying things like, "I don't want to kill Ultron, he is unique and he is in pain." More lines with similar effects are things along the lines of, "I wanted to show you, I don't have anyone else." And Ultron's conversation with Vision before he dies, that's quite deep, I suppose. So, if Ultron were to return in the MCU, the best place to do it would probably be Armor Wars. I know it's probably going to have something to do with the Department of Damage Control, but I don't want it to. I want it to simply be revealed that Ultron made a backup of himself, or had a sentry that went away and the Avengers didn't notice. That way, you can have Ultron. Ta-da. I would also like, if Ultron's returned, to have numerous movies about him, and he fights Ant-Man and Wasp, and creates Jocasta. One could very easily have one of those sort of sagas about him. And if we're keeping to the two-part structure I mentioned in I think it was my Fantastic Four video, or my King in Black video, I can't remember, then how would Ultron work with that structure? So they could just do part 1 and part 2 being the Age of Ultron comic book, or they could adapt Ultron Forever, which they probably could do soon because that's sort of about the multiverse. Or they could do part 1, The Rage of Ultron, and part 2, The Man Who Fell to Earth. I mean, they could just do Ultron Unlimited and the Pride of Ultron with Jocasta. Or they could do their own story. Yeah, so I think MCU Ultron he's okay. He's sort of sad-ish, but definitely could have been better. And at least have some connections to Ant-Man. So that's it. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and all of the other things YouTubers say at the end of videos.